For more, let's bring in former U.S. Ambassador to Israel, David Friedman. Ambassador, welcome.
Welcome, Mike. Thanks for having me.
So Prime Minister Netanyahu's taking some heat from Israelis, from the United Nations, even some allies. Let's play a clip from him and I'll get you to react.
If they want to live here next to us, they have to stop seeking our destruction. And to give them an independent state with all the trimmings, okay, is to invite a future war and a certain war. And that's something that today the Israeli public forcefully opposes.
How do you assess this plan to control Gaza City?
Well, look, Mike, my heart goes out to the families of the hostages, and I understand their grief and their frustration. But the objectives of the war really haven't changed since October 7th, 2023, which is to rescue the hostages and to defeat Hamas. And defeating Hamas is extraordinarily important to most Israelis. I mean, Hamas has said that if they retain control of Gaza, there'll be, follow on October 7th, one after another. They want to continue to murder, rape, destroy Israelis. So the defeat of Hamas is essential, and it's essential to the people of Gaza as well, and it's essential to the day after, because no friendly group, I mean, they're talking about bringing in some friendly, coalition of Arabs to come in and run Hamas, run Gaza. Netanyahu said he doesn't want to do it. They're not coming in if you still have Hamas terrorists hiding in terror tunnels. So as much as people want to end the war, almost everybody in the cabinet who voted to occupy Gaza has a child or a grandchild in the war. It's dangerous. I mean, people are dying. Nobody wants this to continue. It's the longest war in Israel's history. But it can't end with Hamas in control of Gaza. It just can't. And so I understand, the Prime Minister's view. I support it. I hope that, somewhere along the line, the president and Steve Witkoff are able to rescue some more hostages. That's stalled now because, frankly, it's stalled because Canada, the UK, and France have given Hamas this huge prize of recognizing a Palestinian state. And 27 Democratic senators have voted to abandon Israel in its time of greatest need. So Hamas sees this, and they have little incentive to come to the table and negotiate. But I hope there are some breakthroughs. But in the absence of that, what choice does Netanyahu have other than to defeat Hamas? There simply is no other way to get to the day after for Israel and for the civilian population of Gaza.
I want to play for you a clip from a hostage survivor, and I'll get you to react.
President Trump, thank you for bringing me home. But please, help us get a deal that brings everyone home now.
How difficult is that?
It's heartbreaking, and I have no criticism at all for any of the hostage families. I mean, they're doing what anyone would do under those circumstances. They want their families home. They have suffered enough, but the suffering comes at the hands of Hamas. It's not Israel that's imposing this suffering, and I don't think there's anything more politically advantageous for Netanyahu than to bring hostages home. I mean, he's not keeping them there because he wants to. There is no deal on the table. I mean, Witkoff went and he came back and he said that Hamas is not acting in good faith. And the world is not making it any easier by offering these gifts to Hamas in exchange for nothing. So, look, I fully sympathize with the Israelis who want to end the war. I think, I would love to end the war. Everybody wants to end the war, but it cannot end with a defeat. It cannot end with Hamas in power, threatening to execute more and more Israelis to engage in more and more October 7th massacres.
With your experience as a former U.S. ambassador to Israel, do you see this conflict ending anytime soon?
Look, I think what Israel has designed, which is to sort of separate Gaza into segments, move civilians around, and to get Hamas out, I think it will succeed. I have no doubt that it will succeed. I think we're talking about an operation that's going to take months, not weeks, but certainly not a year. I think it will succeed. I think the world, has got to take a deep breath and understand that Israel does not want to do this. Israel will be delighted tomorrow to end this war with the return of their hostages and a surrender of Hamas. But if Israel does not win this war, it's not just bad for Israel, it's not just bad for Gaza, it's bad for everybody in the region, because it will be a massive win for the cause of radical Islamic terror. And I don't think anybody in the world, if they think about it carefully enough, nobody should really want that to happen.
Ambassador David Friedman, thank you very much for your analysis today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.